It's the Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by ANZ Home Loans for financial well-beings.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Breakfast, your largest real estate podcast library in Australia. Yes, over 1,000 episodes, and if you can't find something that you require, it probably doesn't exist. And we are talking your property from Cairns to Perth 7 days a week. You can stream us, of course, on multiple platforms this morning, including Apple Podcasts. It is the middle of our working week, a Wednesday, May the 14th. And good morning to you, Wendy and Joseph. Thank you for taking the time to email us. You say that your property journey is soon to take you to Darwin. You are selling your first property on the Sunshine Coast and said that you can sell in Maroochydore and you're able to buy a new home and a rental in Darwin. Now, your friends think that you're crazy, but you say that the numbers stack up. You would be interested also to hear from anybody else who is doing a similar thing to Darwin, moving to Darwin. You say it might not be from the Sunshine Coast, it might be from New South Wales or Victoria. Now, that is a great question. Is that you? Are you moving to Darwin doing a similar thing? You can email us. Our email address is myrealestatepodcast@gmail.com. Right now, it's time to catch up with Karuna Mazzocchi, and she is the CEO of property business at Coronis Group. And a very good morning to you, Karuna. Welcome to the Real Estate Breakfast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
First off, do you know of anybody that's doing a similar thing to Wendy and Joseph? I thought that that's quite interesting, eh? Moving to Darwin from the Sunshine Coast, Maroochydore, and doing it because of the numbers.
I'm not actually surprised. I think the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast have had rapid growth over the last couple of years, and it will definitely be a strategy that I'm sure people are undertaking, getting another investment property and moving to other states because of that. In gangbusters on those beachy suburbs.
Yeah, no, that's really bold. And I can sort of understand where their friends are coming from. When they probably told them, hey, we're going to move to Darwin, they would have taken a second look and said, you're doing what?
Yeah, especially if it's from a nice area like Maroochydore. I think that those suburbs offer a lot, and a lot of people want to live there because of lifestyle and, great investment. So I think that that's probably why the markets have shifted there so much, like the moves to Queensland. People want to be here and enjoying this wonderful sunny weather near the beach.
Yeah, I think you can probably take away the fact that it's their first property that they're selling. I think if this was their second or third property, maybe not. But, the capital appreciation for an area like Maroochydore and then moving to Darwin, yeah, I can see what they're doing. Now, let's get back to you because you're there at the Coronis Group. You're the CEO, as I mentioned. Interesting story here, Karuna. You've been the CEO for 2 years, but you've been with the company for 21 years, you were telling me.
Yes, that's correct. It took me a little bit of time to get to the CEO role. But yes, I've been here 21 years. It's been a great business to work for and constant growth and improvement.
It sounds like you're pretty busy too at the moment because you're starting to grow and grow into other states as well in a short period of time. So what's been happening? Whereabouts are you represented and how many people are working under you?
We've got around about 36 offices nationally, which has been wonderful to see. We've had around 13 physical locations open in the last 2 years, so quite rapid growth from where we started at, which is nice to see the pathways that we've created. We sort of looked at our business and we were wholly owned for a very, very long time. And, we wanted to make sure that we could bring agent through to business owner and create other pathways for people so they could continue on with us at the Coronis Group and fly our flag and be proud to wear the brand. And that's what we've created. And it's really getting people to run profitable agencies within the first 12 months because of the customer service they're delivering. And yeah, it's nice to be supporting them.
So tell us a little bit about that, because as you say, you're helping top agents become business owners. Now, a lot of real estate agents, they're working for companies, they're dreaming of the day that they can go and set up their own little franchise. You're helping these agents become business owners. Coronis allows individuals to set up while still operating under your brand. So that's always a sort of a bit of a balancing act, isn't it?
It surely is. I think that one thing that top performing agents have is obviously they're writing, good numbers. They've got very high standards and great customer service, but they might not necessarily know how to get in and get started. And they need, some bumper rails at the start with, giving support on how to grow a rent roll, how to get other reoccurring revenue streams in, and how to make sure that they're getting sustainable growth. And then also the back end support. So that's things like how do you help them with their general accounts, their, payroll, trust accounting, marketing, contracts administration, all the, things that they might not be proficient at that start, and giving that to them until they don't no longer need it, and sort of watching their growth journey and them handing it back as they feel confident and more autonomous. And that's what we're doing. So it really underpins their growth, which is why every business has grown their revenue over the time and been profitable in that first 12 months, as I said before, which I love to see, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's interesting because you raise this point. If you're a top-selling agent, if you're writing tons and tons of business, first thing you do is you get an executive person to sort of manage you or manage all the back-end stuff, and they become the office manager guru that's able to connect all of those pieces. You go out and you sell. Now, you're interacting with people, but you're not doing all of that administrative stuff, and this can trip people up when they go into franchises. Yes, sure, they're fantastic agents, and that's what you're saying. It doesn't always transfer, so there's got to be some training done.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that a lot of the time they haven't been interested in getting to know that, because they're passionate about helping clients and getting people sold and moved, and they need people that can help grow that skill set and underpin that. Because otherwise, if an agent wants to continue to write business and do that for a period of time, then if they haven't built a strong business where they've actually got an asset and looking after more clients, they have to stay on the tools for the rest of their life, which doesn't really create an opportunity for them to retire, because they are the business. So they need to actually grow something, which is what we spend time training on them.
That's the fun part, really. For somebody like me, it's growing something that you didn't have before outside of yourself and then engaging with others. It's not for everybody. Some of these agents, they're quite perfectly happy generating plenty of money without having to deal with people.
That is true, but also at some point, unless you have been strategically investing your money, a lot of time people are spending more than they're earning, even if they're earning a lot of money, and they also need help around how to grow financial freedom and how that delivers them, a retirement plan in the future. And you're never too young to think about that, because the years go by very, very quickly, and we want to make sure that our team members and our franchisees that are here are actually growing a nest egg for themselves while looking after their clients and community. And that's why when people get into franchises, they're juggling so many balls, as we said. It can take them off what's important, which is first and foremost looking after their clients and continuing to grow their sales volumes, but also then they need to be growing other things on the side, which is where we deliver the support. I think we take away a lot of that stress from them for that first period of time, which helps them grow and expedite their growth faster.
And you've sort of come out and spoken publicly. I sort of want to change tack a little bit. You've spoken about the low number of women in top executive roles in property. Well, here you are. You're at the top of the tree, the CEO of the Coronis Group. So you'd like to see more people like you.
I don't know if more people like me exactly, but definitely more women in leadership roles. I think a lot of times, some women don't put themselves out there, or they think that, they can't have a family and a, career, and, which one's going to sacrifice. And I would just encourage people to actually step up and put themselves out there and continue to believe in themselves and grow and take the opportunities when they're there. And that's one thing that I've noticed in our group, because there's probably belief when other women look at me and see what I have achieved over my time, 2 children, etc., and the CEO role, that they probably believe it's possible. And we have got just as many women business owners in our organisation as we do males, and half of our executive team is women and half of them are males, which I love to see that diversity and that challenging mindset and thinking outside the box, because it definitely does help bring other things to the forefront. And I'm loving watching that part of the business grow, and I'd love to see other businesses grow like that.
Now, there will be some women that are working currently in the real estate sphere and thinking to themselves, gee, I wonder whether I could be like Karuna. How do you sort of change the mindset? Because, you talk about children, you're talking about the busy household. Do they have enough time to sort of invest in sort of going further and further up the ladder? What some of the things that can pull them back? How do you sort of engage them more, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think that everybody has the same amount of time every day, no matter what role you hold or what you have going on in your life. And, I think that it's more around prioritising what you need to achieve in a day and making sure you're very strict and clear on what you're putting time into for that day. So that could be, kids, that could be your husband, that could be your work, and making sure that those priorities get actioned. But also it's being kind to yourself. Like I'm not perfect at all. My life, is running from minute to minute to make sure that I'm, doing what I need to do, whether it's picking up kids from school or, running to a meeting. And I think people think that there's this, you get up in the morning, you go, you're in the 5 a.m. club and you go and have an ice bath, and then you get to work and you're all chilled out and relaxed. It's nothing like that at all. I would say that my life, is chaotic, and you've got to be forgiving on that, but know that you're doing the best that you can with what you've got and what time you have. And I think people need to be understanding that that's how it's going to be when you've got a full life.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that I know some female women executives outside of the real estate industry, and they've told me straight out that if they were married, because these are single women, they would probably have been held back. But because they're their own boss, so to speak, and very independent women, they've been able to go on and achieve some great things. I thought, oh, well, that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel very grateful. I've been with my partner now for 25 years and been married for 15 years. And I think that it's about, if you grow and understand each other and support each other, 100% there's challenges all the time, and you need to be understanding of what both of you are trying to do. But if you're running really hard and fast, I think it's great to have someone that can encourage you and can challenge you in different ways when you've got the right partner around you. I don't think it's an and or. I think you can have a good relationship with your partner and kids and run a successful business and have good relationships with your team and continue to grow people around you if you're focused on it and you make it a priority.
Yeah, it's horses for courses. Obviously, everybody's situation is different, but there's two sides of the coin. Well, great to catch up with you on the Real Estate Breakfast this morning, Karuna. Good luck for 2025 and in your CEO role and your expansion role as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Let's fuel your passion for property together. Join us, along with our industry experts, to help inspire and inform your next real estate decision.
AI can also help with virtual viewings. They can allow the potential client to explore listings from the comfort of their home, which obviously is important for us here in Dubai, who attract global investors. But I think AI cannot give that personal touch.
Well, I'm going to totally disagree with you there, Mario Volpe, because when the robots are so human-like, it is going to happen.
I mean, you might be right, but I still believe that AI, whilst it will enhance the efficiency and obviously the accuracy of real estate, the collaboration of what AI can do, coupled with what I believe is the irreplaceable human touch for both buyers and sellers alike, when both AI and the human agent kind of work together for the benefit of the client.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.